management of water quality, including reduced stormwater pollution, and ongoing use of the port for transportation of goods to and from Humboldt County. As a member of the council, I will continue to focus on all of those areas and support policies that promote a healthy bay, uphold existing uses, and work with stakeholders to promote new economic opportunities when they are reasonable, actionable, and fiscally responsible.
No, I need these. So much for that. All right, so I agree with all of you. Our bay is one of the most underutilized resources, and we can do better. I envision a dynamic port offering opportunities for tourism, shipping, living wage jobs, while striking a balance around the bay, while striking a balance with our environmental stewardship. I support projects around the bay, annual dredging, and of course, keeping our shipping channels open through the Army Corps of Engineers. I also, nobody does anything by themselves. It takes the collaboration of all the stakeholders. So I would support creating strong collaborative relationships with, of course, the Humboldt Bay Harbor Recreation and Conservation District, California Coastal Commission, Eureka Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Eureka Tourism Center. And also working within our strategic plan, which is the blueprint for us to implement our future and check on it every year to make sure that we're still on target. This next city council will be making plans for our future and impacting the quality of our life through 2040, and that's pretty impressive. I would also say that I support Eureka's waterfront revitalization plan, along with local agencies to facilitate improvements in the infrastructure. I know that a lot of our boat docks, and I want to be able to balance that, the recreation and the beauty. One of the reasons I live here is I love our resources, our natural resources, our birds, our water. It's how many people get to live on the coast. And I would, as much as I want jobs, I want to balance that out. So I also support shipping, tourism, ecotourism, supporting the changes in the zoning codes to allow development along the waterfront, which we haven't been able to do in the past. As I said, I'm a marketing professional. I welcome the idea of working with Rob Holman and creating marketing strategies for our port with Humboldt Bay to a worldwide market to promote economic development for our future. And let's see, what else do I want to tell you? I support fiber optics, the zoning code updates, again, the Visitor Bureau, offshore wind power, and taking advantage of the shipping opportunities. I think that we have a lot to offer, and I have a lot to give in terms of skill sets and making that happen. Thank you.
So my vision of the harbor is to have it as a working harbor, and that means shipping, and more shipping. Now, a lot of the shipping is due to economic factors beyond our control, but as much as a city council member can do, I will do to help it facilitate shipping. And that isn't to say we don't also pursue recreational possibilities on the bay. The bay is a very large bay. We can have room for both. So I want to support our fishing fleet. I was at a debate a couple of years ago where a city council member said that the fishing and timber industries are dead. And I had to correct them. They're not as large as they were 20 or 30 years ago, but they are still very important factors in our local economy. And so to that end, when I was on the Eureka Planning Commission, the Harbor District and city staff came before us to do what one critic said turn Woodley Island into Disneyland North. And I think they were surprised when the Planning Commission voted unanimously to oppose it and to make sure Woodley Island is saved as a working marina for our fishing industry. We need to encourage cruise ships as much as we can. Some people say, well, it's only a one-time shot in the arm to our local economy, but if we could get 6 or 7 cruise ships in here a year, that would be a great boon to our economy. And to that end, I would like to look at jointly funded gangplank for the cruise industry. I would like to see us expand our oyster beds. The oyster industry has created a lot of jobs for our local economy. Expanded oyster beds will mean expanded job opportunities. Now we need to protect the lands around the waterfront that are coastal dependent industries. And we've got to look at not just the current needs, but we have to look out 50, 60 years and see what we're going to need as far as those type of properties. We need to look at the city-owned properties, parcels around the waterfront that are underutilized or not being used at all. See what we can to sell or lease some of them to privately owned entities, and put them to better use. And dredging, we need to have more dredging and regular dredging, not just for the Eureka properties, but to work with the Harbor Commission for their dredging as well.
All right, very good. You guys are awesome. I wish I could elect like a committee to be a city council person. Doesn't work that way. This is the last round of Final Jeopardy. And we have 2 minutes. Dennis, you're really doing well over here for an old man.
Don't get it too complicated.
Yeah, no, it's pretty simple. So we're going to go in the same order: 2 minutes, parting shots, final comments, anything you want to say. Larry has muted the audience, so we don't really have any opportunity to feedback. Although you have all day to meet with these guys and ask questions personally, which I encourage you to do. You guys would encourage that as well, correct? Yeah. All right, without further ado, Joe, you're up.
Okay. Well, thank you for having us, working group. We appreciate it. And Small Cookhouse, thank you for your wonderful food. Excellent stuff. Once again, I am running in the new Ward 5, and my priority regarding the harbor is to make sure that people in the city have a more transparent knowledge of what the harbor does. A lot of people don't realize that there's a big part of the city's budget goes towards dealing with harbor things. They own property there, they rent out places, and I think that on this side of everybody thinks this is basically over on Samoa, but there's quite a bit here, and I really expect that I would make the city live up to the words that they've written in the general plan and not do this little encroachment that they've been creeping on and trying to change the waterfront into, like I said, a Pier 39 situation, which I don't think will benefit those people that are working in this industry. And like it's been said, the fishing industry is not dead, and neither is the timber industry. I think exporting timber is something that we can do, and at the same time, importing things is something we could do if we could get a railroad completed here. A lot of people don't realize that rail is the most eco-friendly thing you can have. You can, I just looked it up here, you can move 100 tons of cargo with 500 miles on 1 gallon of gas. But the truck, that takes 10 tons, you can move that, it takes 100 gallons to move that same 500 miles. So it's definitely something that would be good for the economy, would also be good in climate change, because in doing that we'd have to rebuild the prism that the railroad sits on between here and Arcata, so that we could get mill products up to the rail line, up leading through Blue Lake, and that would we'd be able to rebuild that prism taller and make it a little bit safer for us when the water does rise a little bit. Anyway, so thank you very much, and please remember to vote on November 6th, and thank you again, Small Cookhouse.
Again, special thanks to the Humboldt Bay Working Group. It's great to be here. You know, this is the last of a long line of debates. We call them forums now. It's a little friendlier, I think. But we've had a lot of debates. I've gotten to know my colleagues up here really well, and I actually like every single one of them. With that being said, though, the debates take it's the same kind of thing, though. My opponents will list a long list of things that they love to see happen, and they hope that you will grab onto one or two of those things and then support them. That is a method of campaigning. I do a little bit of it myself. I've tried to do something different here today. I've tried to share with you the actual process that I'll use. Instead of just giving you a long laundry list of things that you may or may not agree with, I'm telling you about the general plan. I'm telling you about specifics. I'm telling you about specific actions, talking with staff, and making sure that it all makes sense before I vote yes on it, or no on it. So, as a business owner, I've been in business for 9 years. It's more than me just running the front counter. You all see me at the front counter when you buy your guitar strings or your new guitar, but I do so much more than that. I negotiate with vendors all the time. I've got over 30 vendors that I have a personal relationship with, and I negotiate on behalf of the store. You need somebody in city council that has a skill set, that can negotiate, and doesn't just tell you what you want to hear. I can do what my opponents do and give you a long list of really good ideas. But you want to see the actual skill set of the person. I would encourage you to look at the skill set before you decide who to vote for. And echoing Joe, please make sure you vote. This race is going to be close. It's so important. Because here's what we're up against. When it comes to the Bay, we have transportation network rail issues. You need somebody that's got a skill set to deal with that. The navigation channel, dredging. You need somebody that can stay on top of that, asking the right questions. And then the public harbor facilities. We haven't even touched on that yet. We could talk for hours on that. You need somebody with a skill set to get it done. I believe I have it because I've worked for 9 years. I'm easy to find too. So, I won't dodge your phone calls because all you have to do is walk into the store and we'll go from there. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you for having us. I am a candidate with many years of experience working in this community. I stand behind my word. I do what I say I'll do. And I have a lot of people who have experienced my skills and strengths in building coalitions and in addressing specific issues and challenges that we face. I have concrete plans for diversifying the local economy, for building partnerships that cross political lines, and I have strong plans for public safety, community development, and building infrastructure for this city. These plans are, we need people who have short-term plans and who look at the long-term possibilities and who are willing to do both, and I'm doing those things. I will bring responsible leadership to council and balance the needs of businesses and citizens. It is possible for us all to work together to develop a thriving community that works for the whole of our community members. Thank you again for having me. You can visit my website, leslieforyureka.com, and please vote for Leslie Castellano, November 6th.
All right, folks. So one of the things that keeps getting misrepresented here is Anthony. I like Anthony, but he likes to say he's the only businessman that's in the group. Caroline has been in business for 9 years in Johnson Auto Electric as a co-owner, and she just recently opened up Caroline's Texas Barbecue. So let's get that out of the way. But Caroline is an only true resident of Ward 1, 15 years. Everybody else cannot say that. There's no doubt that Eureka and the City Council on many occasions have overreached their fiscal boundaries. But that said, Caroline will be your voice, the adult in the room, to make the tough decisions that seem to evade the current city managers. As far as Humboldt Bay is concerned, there are absolutely requirements to maintain credible working bay that both encourage commercial and recreational activities. There needs to be an annual maintenance dredging throughout Humboldt Bay. There needs to be continued support for growth at the pulp mill business park and eco-friendly power production. Repurposing dredging spoils instead of shipping them 3 miles offshore. You know, we can build up some of that missing ground that's under the prison railroad system. She doesn't see any good out of a East Coast or East-West railroad system. We already got a big jump going on in Central California. It ain't working, and she does not back that. Thank you so much, and please vote for Caroline, Ward 1 City Council.
All right, so this was an interesting forum. I would say this is where me and my competitors agree on the question that was asked. There's not a lot of differences between our responses, which is interesting. So I would encourage everyone to find out more about all of us as candidates. Hopefully we're all going to stick around and you can ask us more questions about what we believe in, what we are planning to do on City Council. I heard previously mentioned, one of my competitors said that she's building coalitions across party lines, but in a previous debate she said that she was not willing to attend meetings based off of hate from the moderate and conservative parties. So I just want to point that out. Yeah, I encourage you all to talk to me after the forum, and I would really like to see more improvement and things be brought to the harbor. I'd like to learn more about the harbor. I'm really interested in your input, so talk to me afterwards. Thank you.
Are you going to read a Natalie statement at all? No. Okay, just checking. So, thank you again. I think that our citizens deserve a choice in their city leaders. We all have diverse backgrounds, and I'm honored to be here. So I would say that I have a proven track record for getting things done. One of my strengths is the ability to bring people together from diverse backgrounds and create win-win relationships, which I've done successfully in our community. I've been a tireless champion for our city's future. I also am retired, so I have something that neither of my opponents have, and that's time to devote my full attention to putting Eureka first, and I'm excited for the ability to do that. There is a reason that I've won the trust, confidence, and endorsements from some of our most respected city and county leaders. I'm the only city council candidate endorsed by Sheriff William Hansel, Mayor Frank Yeager, former City Council member Melinda Cherubini, former EPD Chief Andy Mills, former Humboldt Bay Fire, Bill Gillespie, along with countless others and local businesses. Melinda and Frank say, if this is what Jeannie, the volunteer, can do, just imagine what Jeannie, the council member, can do. So I'm respectfully asking for your vote and your consideration. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there's a reason why I have 300 supporters supporting my candidacy, including 6 former Eureka City Council members, all 5 people who served on the Eureka Planning Commission with me, and retired Sheriff Mike Downey. And that's because I'm known as someone that can get things done. Now, you and I won't always agree. Nobody agrees all the time with anybody. But I can make you some promises. I will always listen to you, and I will value your opinions, and I will treat you with respect. I won't keep secrets. You'll know how I'm feeling on certain issues, and and why I feel that way on those issues. And I will listen to your facts, and if facts warrant, I can always change my position. Then there's something else that I want to address, and that's the general tone of local politics. Now, first, at the national level, it turned into a blood sport where people can't agree to disagree. It's like life and death, and you're an evil person if you disagree. Then it filtered down to Sacramento, and now we're seeing it here at the local level. I'd like to change the whole tenor of local politics, where we can disagree and still be friends. And the general tone of city council meetings has been downright hostility. And I would like to have it lighten that up a little bit. Jeff Reagan, who's the chairman of the planning commission, likes to always say, are we having fun yet? And I would like to have that attitude at our city council meetings.
All right, on behalf of Dennis and I and the lovely Larry, thank you guys.
And you too, Dennis.
We typically do not have lunches on November or December, so